I'm just going to give you guys some numbers and some data points to start, just to give you a way to ease into this discussion, which is like Thunderbolts was so bad box office wise that it damaged the Avengers brand like whole hog. Wow. It contributed to losses for the company. They needed to write it down at Marvel. It was something that had to get a whole section of discussion during the last earnings call with Bob Iger. On top of that, Fantastic Four had another 61% drop week to week and a 60% drop Friday to Friday, and it's already fizzling out. And Superman is falling short of the $600 million mark after 31 days, which is something the Batman did in just 18 days. All of this while Man of Steel back in 2013, the average ticket price for a movie was $8.13, whereas now the average movie ticket is like $11.50, and that's not even including PLE, like PLFs, like premium large format screenings, things like that. And it's Man of Steel, despite being outpaced by Superman at the domestic box office, is still the biggest box office draw for a Superman movie internationally and worldwide totals. And the reason I'm giving you such random pieces of data is because I think what's really come down to it is, as more people spend their time online and as more of the discussions are centered around the makings of these movies and the earnings of these movies, it's time for people to admit that it's because people just don't care enough about the actual movies themselves. And I liked Superman. I liked Fantastic Four. I liked Superman a little bit more than I liked Fantastic Four. I did not see Jurassic World this summer, but I did really, really love F1. And all of the discussion I saw around F1, for the most part, had to do with how great the action scenes were. The way that they had to create entirely new camera rigs so that they could film the racing scenes. The most interesting box office fact about the film is that it's now Brad Pitt's biggest movie of all time, which is funny.
Wow.
Yeah. He's never done any, he's not really a franchise film guy. He's not a comic book guy. He's not a franchise film guy.
I mean, I remember F1 was big, but it didn't seem to have that much buzz.
Yeah. And so on top of all of that, why is it that the movies are no longer interesting enough to actually keep people interested? Spider-Man is already getting buzz. There has been set photos for 2 days now, 3 days now, and people are spamming out these pictures of Spider-Man looking cool.
I'm already not interested in the new Spider-Man movie.
I think you might be outside the target demographic for that more, just a little bit.
Generally, but, I mean, I'm very pro superhero comic book movie.
So what is it about the new Spider-Man that you're disinterested about?
It's probably because there have been so many letdown comic book movies.
Yeah, but have you seen the other ones with Tom Holland?
Yeah, and like I said, I like Tom Holland. I like Coming Home. I like the first Spider-Man movie. I thought he was great with his introduction in Civil War.
I love that.
I thought it was awesome.
Introduction.
Loved it. And I like the relationship between Tony Stark and Spider-Man. I mean,
so do you think it makes it less so now because Tony Stark isn't there?
Maybe, especially if what it looks like where they're moving away from the whole like Spider-Man armor kind of thing. Like, I just feel like Marvel has been such a letdown recently. Like, I'm not excited to see Marvel movies anymore. And you know, especially the things that I'm hearing about. Like, I want to see Doomsday. But at the same time,
now they're saying that was all Steve Rogers' fault because he went back in time and so he could end it with Peggy.
Could be. I mean, I'm interested in it, but again, if it's Pedro Pascal, I'm like, I don't like the guy as an actor, and I'm not particularly interested in the Fantastic Four either. And I don't want to see the Fantastic Four. I want to see the Avengers, and so it's like, well, do I care about the Fantastic Four as Avengers? I don't know. So
I'll bring it back up because James Gunn, if James Gunn has a flaw, it's that he's too online. He's like, a lot of people would say that it's a good thing to be like responsive to your audience, and I agree to an extent, but it's like he gets baited into questions, and it's like and he feels the need to respond all the time, which in my opinion, at least a little bit, kind of destroys the mystique of like what a director is supposed to be. Like, tomorrow we're gonna talk about how annoying James Cameron is with Avatar because he elevates what he's making to this form of high art when it's just well-made studio slop. But the point is like, I don't feel like he overstays his welcome when he's talking about his movies. But this was something when they were talking about the budget. A person said, "People keep saying that the Superman movie needs to make $650 million to break even and to be a success. Is that true, or would you say it's already a success?" Huge fan of the movie, by the way. And he says, "Absolutely false. Anyone saying that doesn't have an understanding of the film business, and we would be idiots to make a first in a franchise that would need to make that much to be profitable." Well, first of all, success and profitable aren't the same thing.
Yeah.
When it's the first in a franchise, it needs to indicate some level of excitement from the audience. Now, you do have outliers. For instance, Batman Begins didn't do nearly as well, of course, as The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises. So, the first in the franchise doesn't have to make $1 billion, but it does have to reset people's expectations and give them something to look forward to. And he's already kind of set himself up for a failure, because he's saying now, which came out today, that the first pieces of follow-up information from Superman are going to be coming out in Peacemaker Season 2, which is, of course, rated MA and not supposed to be watched by kids, whereas Superman as a movie was entirely supposed to be watched by kids. And now, I don't know how you spin it when what they're saying is that Superman is already coming out on... I'll put it up here. Superman is already coming out on streaming tomorrow. Like, it just came out like a month ago. And they moved this date up. I mean, Phil will remember, but back in the day, movies didn't come out on stream. Not even stream. Movies didn't come out on home video for months.
Years
after. I mean, they'd come out on.
If you're talking about video,
yeah.
Actually, like VHS.
Yeah.
Like when Blockbuster was a thing, it would be years.
Or at the very least, pay-per-view would take several months before you were able to get it.
It would have to be out of the theaters. Like,
yes.
you couldn't go to a theater and watch it.
Theater windows were longer.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. It would have to be done with the theater run. You can't find it. You're not going to go to the drive-in, which drive-ins got it last.
Yeah.
Right? And you'd have to wait.
Or dollar theaters.
Yeah, dollar theaters. You'd have to wait till that was done. Then it would come out on VHS or on some kind of pay-per-view. But pay-per-view was... it didn't come out until like the 90s and stuff. You were talking about VHS in the 80s and 90s.
A dollar theater.
Yeah, there were theaters where you could go like see a movie for $2 or $1.
Oh,
because it'd been out for a while at that point.
That's a great way to spend an afternoon.
So this is what he says. With Superman passing the $500 million mark worldwide, many fans were surprised to see that the film was heading to digital only 35 days after the theatrical debut. According to Gunn, he is also just as surprised and says that the reason Superman is being released Friday isn't because anything to do with potential box office woes. I don't know if I believe that. But everything to do with Peacemaker Season 2. He says, well, it's complicated, but the truth is because of Peacemaker, I originally thought Peacemaker was going to be coming out next month. There was a lot of things that are beyond our control, so that he's literally the head of the studio. Like, I mean, I don't know who's out of, like, are you saying Warner Brothers? Because he's literally the dude in charge of the studio.
Yeah.
He didn't just make the Superman movie. He's the one in charge of the entirety of the studio, so I don't know if I buy that. He goes, I originally thought Peacemaker was going to be coming out next month. There are a lot of things that are beyond our control, so that Peacemaker is coming out now. At the end of the day, I wanted everyone to be able to see Superman that wanted to, even those people who couldn't get to a theater before Peacemaker, and that's really the reason for it. I don't believe him. But this is what it comes down to now. All of the discourse online it's just a way for people to dunk on each other, as sad as that is. It's for, if Superman is failing, and again, Superman had a budget of like $225 million. That was before marketing, which they spent at least $100 million on. So making $551 million isn't going to cut it as far as, like, it's just not. Like, it needed to make more than that. And so it's so Snyder Bros, the fans of the for those of you who are not terminally online, fans of the Zack Snyder vision of DC, it's so that they can dunk on James Gunn, or it's so that for Fantastic Four, it's for people that hate Pedro can hate on MCU shills, or it's so anti-woke people can dunk on regular media shills. Nobody's interested in the actual movies anymore. Nobody's talking about them like they're these great forms of entertainment. They just want their team to do well. They just want the one that they back to do well. I liked both Superman and Fantastic Four to different degrees. I still think that F1 was the best movie out of all of the movies that I saw in July, but I like Superman a lot. and there were people who hated Superman. There were people who hated that I thought Fantastic Four was okay. And they're all using different box office metrics to tell you why your subjective opinion of a movie is wrong, which is silly. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't even think of a corollary. I guess like it would be like polling data in politics. It's like, oh, well, that sucks. Well, Zoran's leading by 80%, so he's gonna win.
Yeah, like you said with the teams. I mean, you see it now where even the movies that are supposed to be a little more like esoteric and out there, like Wes Anderson movies, even they have like a passionate flag waving fan base for.
Wes Anderson. I mean, it's like Nolan. Like Nolan has his own fans.
Like everyone. It's like it's like squads rolling up to the theater. Like, I'm a Nolan fan. Like, I got a Nolan hat on. And
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
But
it doesn't seem like it wasn't that way prior to like 10 years ago.
I mean, I think that's just because there's less people actually going to the theaters. That's. That information is kind of born out of the fact that tickets are more expensive, but the box offices are falling under or similar to old films. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole debate right now about whether you should actually use the idea of adjusted for inflation.
Right.
Because some people say that's a cope, but it's not really. Like, it's indicative of what the prices for tickets were at that time, because it just cost less money to go to see a movie back then. Mm-hmm. So now it's a much bigger value ask. Like, when we go to the theaters, we spend $17 a ticket. So if me and Olivia go to see a movie, we spend at least $35 after tax to buy the actual tickets. And then if you're gonna get food at the theater, which we do, we get I get my drunken fries and beer cheese, and that's we each get one, and that costs $20 itself. Mm-hmm. So you're spending, and then if somebody wants candy or something to drink, you're coming in on like $100 just to go to see a movie that's over in 2.5 hours. So it's like, I feel like I've actually been like Stockholm syndrome into liking the movies half the time. Maybe I don't even like it. I'm just like, I just spent this much money, I better like it.
Yeah.
But it's also why people get more angry than when a movie isn't good. They're like, I just spent all of this money and this is the bullshit that I'm getting.
Yeah. I mean, especially you're not getting out for under 50 if you're going to someone.
No, I mean, but that is a problem with the dollar, not a problem with the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Like we're still in that shock period after significant inflation.
Yeah,
where
that's a good point.
The money that people are used to spending, or they can remember spending 5 years ago, doesn't go nearly as far as it does now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, or as it used to. It's like, it used to be you could go to, most people remember $5 footlongs. You remember that. You're a young guy.
Yeah.
That isn't coming back.
No.
And so,
especially if they're getting thrown at DC police.
I know, right? What a waste. But the fact of the matter is, that kind of thing matters. So people are still adjusting to the inflation that we had in the past, right after Biden, or at the end of Biden's term.
I had an article today we were going to cover. I just decided like there ended up being too many data points. I was like, I can't do this today.
Yeah.
But it was literally, the article was like, Gen Z can't afford friendship.
Yeah.
It was literally it was like, Gen Z wants to go out. It's just they go into debt every time they go out to the bar with their friends. I was like, first of all, I don't know anybody in Gen Z who's going to bars. But maybe I guess if you're in like City Thoroughfare, you're in DC, you're in some metro area, I suppose that's true, but like you can't afford it.
Yeah, when you open a tab and you're like, hey, 3-4 drinks, and you say it's like $70. You're like, what is going on?
We did a segment earlier this year that Gen Z had never even heard of bar tabs. They're like, I don't know how to open a bar tab.
Oh, see, like, because in America, I feel like our bar conventions change a lot depending on where you are. But like in the UK, specifically England, they have a very particular way of like how they handle the bar or the pub.
How's it different?
Well, the big thing that I was told that Zoomers are like destroying England is because when they go to pubs, they like line up, like they queue for the, instead of where everyone gets around the bar and they're just trying to get a drink. Instead, people are getting like a nice orderly line. But the older guard in England, this drives them absolutely wild. And I think it's like a mixture of a COVID thing and a Zoomer's just not matriculating. I keep using that word, but it's so funny that's like even the bar culture is breaking down.
It's like what was I rewatching recently? Like one of the Harrison Ford, Jack Ryan movies. It might have been Patriot Games. Whichever one involved the IRA, and they're at a bar, and like, this movie makes me homesick for the chance to go to Ireland and be at a bar with a bunch of terrorists.
Right. Yeah.
Those were good times in the movies. I'm just saying, guys, that if you're arguing with people online on basis of like a movie, like that's kind of the same thing as like when I tell you that like dunking on like people who have like Apple and Android and they fight about it. You're just a consumerist pig for them. Mm-hmm. You really are. Like if you like a movie, you should like it because you enjoyed it, not because you hated a guy who made a different movie worse. Like that just seems really, really stupid to me. But I think that's why everybody's fighting about it, because nobody actually cares about the art anymore, because the art is substandard compared to what it used to be.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.